It's easy. Speak easy, baby.
What do you think about this whole... I was listening to 97.1 on the way down, and it was the Valenti show. And they're,
The swear words in our studio. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, they're talking about the whole Sheila being involved in meetings and stuff like that. What do you think about that?
So I had Darius Slay on the pod, and I asked him. I know the Eagles didn't do well this year, but they still, like, they've been to a Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl. Like, they've been in the conversation. They've won a playoff game, which we haven't since fucking before we were born. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like, I asked him, what's the difference in ownership and, like, leadership between, like, the organizations now you've, like, left the Lions. And he said exactly what she's doing now, like, just being involved. You know what I'm saying? The fact that, like, just them being there shows they give a fuck.
Yeah, and, like, I feel like any business that I've ever been in, right? Like, because obviously this is one of the biggest businesses in the world. Every business that I've been in, like, you don't really get to that next level and, like, are good at your job until you've been in those meetings and you've listened to the people that have proven themselves. And, like, I don't think there's anyone in our organization that right now is, like, that person to look at. But, like, you don't get there until you're in them meetings doing that and have, like, that practice in you and you know what those meetings are about. So you can, have ideas and bounce things off that may be productive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And just being there shows you give a fuck.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not around, then people are more liable to fuck off and, like, just not do what they're supposed to, you know?
And on the show, what I disagreed with, and it wasn't Valenti, I forget, it might have been Rico or one of the other guys. They're talking about how, like, that's just, it's going to put a bad vibe in the room thinking that everybody has to, like, shine her shoes on, like, making her feel good because she's there.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's, like, there's a lot of proven guys in that coach's room that have been around big owners that have proven themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's going to be that way. She needs to be in them rooms right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's two, I can see both sides, too, for sure, because, like, I actually texted you, like, one thing to talk about is, like, can you have, like, I don't know where this goes from here. This is probably a loose-ended question, but can you have football or, like, locker room conversations around a female? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think those discussions change?
That's crazy you bring that up because, like, when I don't mean to, like, sound like I'm some kind of, like, know about college athletics, but I got to play in, like, junior college and then...
Yeah, you look like you are offensive lineman. You look like a fucking TJ Lane comes in the studio, like, he's a buffer version of you.
I love TJ, bro. I love all his, like...
TJ's dope.
Everything he does on his pods and stuff like that, too. But, so, like, I got an opportunity to play beyond high school. And, like, when I was playing football, it was, like, every level was just, like... you had to step your game up. There was levels to the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you went from high school to college to elite college and then into, like, a pro setting. And every level that I got to, everybody was expected to be a little bit more professional.
Yeah.
And, like, you only learn that professionalism from the leaders of the team or the people around you.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, there's at least, these are the first steps in my lifetime that I can see them putting people in a setting where they've proven themselves. Like our OC, I think Anthony Lynn's he's a pretty decently proven guy in the NFL.
I like Anthony. During the regular season, I was like, if he gets fired, I wouldn't mind him here as a head coach.
Yeah. But to get back to what you were saying, like girls in the locker room, it's like we had trainers around the college locker rooms in and out, like that were female. And, they didn't take nobody's shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they were a woman, they knew, like, if they showed, this is my opinion, obviously, but, like, it seemed like if they felt like they were showing a sign of weakness, then that's when guys would try and take advantage of them.
Yeah.
But these girls were toughest, shit, the ones that worked in the football, within the football team. So, like, it almost put guys in their place in a way.
Yeah.
Just to, like, know that wasn't, like, you weren't allowed to, say things in a certain way or do things in a way when they were around, so, but I'm sure it's different in the league,
Yeah, well, she's the owner too. Yeah. It's not like just some like, trainer chick. She owns the fucking team. She signs your checks,
And I think she got a good look at what happened with Martha, because the D was not easy on Martha.
Yeah, no.
Like fan base like was hard on her.
They never are, man. But they really haven't like at this point. Because I used to be one of those guys like, how can you blame the owner? Like they just own the fucking team, right? But like, yeah, at this point, like you have to fucking blame. That's the one constant, beyond everything.
60+ years.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing that hasn't changed. So like, yeah, at this
however
point,
long Fords have owned it, but
yeah. It's your. Sorry, I want to touch this hand sanitizer. I don't know why, but it's your fucking fault at that point. Like you're responsible. You're ultimately the leader. You make the hires. If you're not on their ass to do their job correctly, like yeah, it can be the fucking owner. Like, and she's taking the step again. Just from my conversation with Slay, like she's getting involved, and I like that. But and I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm kind of just like fucking.
Yeah, well, like, and I think it's a good because she got that. What she saw when happened to Martha, and she was like, "Oh shit, this is not." And she's been in the organization, I'm sure, for a little while longer than either of us know. But
yeah,
like she got an eye-opening experience to see that, like, okay, this is like a real life thing for these people in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like this team is a lot of people's livelihood.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And like peace of mind in a way.
It really is. Yeah.
So I think it seems like she's taking that very seriously, which is important to me as a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like at least seeing that from the top down and putting the right people in place and letting that kind of just trickle effect down throughout the organization is a lot better than trying to, okay, let's grab Quinn and Patricia and let's let them try and infect the entire organization that way. I don't think that's not the way the Patriots were built. They weren't built from plucking somebody and bringing them in. Yeah. They were built from Kraft down.
Yeah, Kraft's involved.
Right.
So, yeah.
And he always has been.
Yeah. No, yeah. And then the other part to it, I think the issue was beforehand, which she's just like a different person from all the people beforehand. Because like before, in terms of ownership, it was just passed on because like a family thing. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh.
Inheritance.
Yeah, just inherited. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. There's no pride. They didn't purchase it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like something they built or
it didn't feel that way.
Yeah,
at least to the fans.
Yeah, and it wasn't though. It truly was just inherited from Ford to Ford to Ford. Yeah, there was no sense of like pride or ownership and like, oh, I want this thing to do well. It's just hey, I got this from Grandpa. Like fucking like.
And I seen it like I always try. For some reason, I always do this, but like I try to relate it to something in my life and like what experiences I can like. Give an opinion off of, right? Yeah. And I used to work in the car dealerships, and my grandfather did for like 30, 40 years, right? Just in car business, he was a mechanic, worked his way up in management in the service department and in like up at Moran Chevrolet. Okay. On like 15 and Gratiot up there. He was there for 30 years. And then I started working there with him, but the car business was a lot like that where, the owner would have his son, and his son would take over like as like the general manager of sales or operations throughout the whole dealership eventually, and then they would get passed on. Yeah. And then my grandpa would even tell me like every time that thing would get passed down,
shittier and shittier.
It's like that pride gets lost more and more because it's not
there's no dirt in your fingernails.
You didn't get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? You weren't there shooting in the gym with me. You know what I'm saying?
You say if you busted your ass, you're like, damn, bro, I just bought the fucking Lions. Like, hell yeah, this is my shit. Yeah, this is my shit. No, it's fucking like, oh, I just got the Lions. Like, look at you, just
And she's married in, like Sheila's married in, so I think I hope she has a chip on her shoulder. Yeah, that's what I hope. Is she's got like, no, fuck that. I wanna do something here, and that's like as a fan, that's all you can ask for at the beginning of a rebuild like this. You know what I'm saying?
1,000%. Yes, the word rebuild has become like a debate.
It's like a dark cloud in Detroit, bro.
Yeah, some people fucking hate hearing it. I have people like, I'm in this thing called DSA, the Detroit Sports Alliance. It's like other like YouTubers that cover the Lions and